Attention, small business owners and creatives. Are you looking for the perfect audience to share your brand story with? Well, the Girl Get Up podcast reaches ambitious professionals across key markets filled with decision makers in government, tech, and business, such as DC and Texas. But here's what makes this opportunity special. Our listeners span 33 countries across 6 continents. That means your brand has both national impact and global exposure. Whether you're offering productivity tools, online courses, women's empowerment products, or services that support career growth or entrepreneurship, this audience is for you. The Girl Get Up audience are filled with action takers who invest in their development and support brands that aligns with their values. And we're growing organically every week. The Girl Get Up podcast has loyal listeners and a community of dreamers and doers who are ready to discover brands like yours. Are you ready to connect with an audience that's already listening? Or visit my stand store or send me a message to explore sponsorship packages designed specifically for small businesses and creatives. The Girl Get Up podcast is the podcast where your brand meets your people. Now let's get into the episode for today. Welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast. I am your host, the Aquarian Chancellor, and this is the podcast where I share my stories, invite my guests on, they share their stories, all in hopes that inspires you, the listening audience, to go out and discover your infinite possibilities. So today is going to be an insight episode about AI and how you can incorporate the human side of who you are to meet the this rising thing. Like, it's a lot of people concerned about AI right now, which leads me to today's video. As I'm scrolling, keeping an eye out for pop culture, what's going on in the world, I see a lot of posts, and whether it's written content or whether it's a video content, it's a lot of concern, frustration. Our economy has took a turn, whether it's the job market, even in the business, on the business scene. AI has really transformed the way that business is being done. So that is whether as a content creator, you're using AI to generate videos, to generate content, to generate strategy, or maybe you're in the workplace and now you're starting to see your company integrate AI tools more and more into processes and business development. And you're looking and you're saying, okay, what is this going to mean for my future? So you're looking at all of these changes going on, and then you have the content that's coming out. Oh, AI is taking jobs. Automation is changing the way that business is being done, which part of that is true. But here's something that I want you to think about. Whenever there is a problem or whenever there is a need, there's going to be naturally there's going to be a solution to that problem. There's going to be a solution to that need. So what makes you, the human, valuable in the workplace? What makes you, the human, valuable in the business market? Back in 2023, I did a post on my Instagram feed. I did that post not understanding the impact that AI was going to have in just a matter of 3 to 4 years. Here's what the post said. According to the World Economic Forum Future Job Report, here are some emerging skills that will pay the bills. Notice anything? And those skills are critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and cognitive flexibility. Over the next 5 to 10 years, there will be a growing need for people who are empathetic, caring, nurturing, and who will act for the greater good of all, subsequently humanity. Well, welcome to the new ways of business where decision makers and leaders with integrity will be in high demand. Hashtag future job market. So that was the post. This was June of 2023. Okay. So here we are, October of 2025, and we are currently seeing mass layoffs all over the world. And the number one reason why people are saying that this is happening is because of the rise of automation. Remember, I talked about those. If there is a problem in our natural world, in the world, there's going to be a solution, a natural solution. In that post, those 3 things mentioned in that post, and I replaced one of them, are going to be our solution. So what are those 3 things? Emotional intelligence, cognitive flexibility, and yes, critical thinking, but I replaced critical thinking with creativity. Why? Because these are human qualities. So that's what today's episode is going to be about. I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to develop and showcase these skills specifically and build a professional brand, whether you're in business or in the workforce, that stands out in the AI age. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to set the stage for you. And in doing so, I want to share this. We have moved from the information age into the interpretation age. In the information age, the person who had access to information had the power. If you knew something that others didn't know, you had a competitive edge over those who didn't know. If you could analyze data, if you could create strategy or provide expert knowledge, you were considered valuable. But now, because of ChatGPT and other AI tools, the new currency is going to be interpreting that data with a human understanding, with the human mind. AI can give you strategy. It can analyze data. It can generate professional development plan. But what it can't do is create genuine connections with others within that community that you wish to serve. That's what it can't do. Or it can't understand what motivates those that you wish to serve. This is what's going to be our opening. Information from intellect. And here's the beautiful part about it. These are skills that we were naturally born with. You just have to develop. You have to develop that flexibility and that emotional awareness to recognize them, develop them, and learn how to showcase them as part of your brand. So let's talk about the first skill, which is Emotional intelligence. What does that look like in practice? Let's say you're in a meeting and you want to propose a project, and the client says, I need to think about that. Now, on the surface, you might interpret that as being a no. But then you, as the human, you're taking note of this, and you're looking at body language, you're looking at hesitation, you might be looking at facial expressions. You might sense, okay, maybe it's something more there that I need to dig into. Right? This is what I'm talking about when I say emotional intelligence, because that gives you the opportunity as the human to shift and create that safe space for resolution. You might propose, well, please let me know if we need to set up a meeting to discuss the details. There might be some additional concerns that we need to address. That is emotional intelligence. That is emotional awareness. That is creating a safe place for resolution. That is creating an atmosphere that welcomes communication and problem solving for the sake of productivity. Now, let's talk about the most important skill. I feel this is the necessity in this age of AI, and that is creativity. Now, we talk about creativity all the time, and I know some of y'all are thinking, okay, well, I'm an accountant or I'm in tech, but creativity is not just for artists. Creativity can exist even in the way you solve problems. AI generates, but humans innovate. AI can create thousands of project plans and analyze industry trends and suggest strategies to accommodate for those trends. But what it can't do is create a solution that doesn't even exist yet. AI just refines, inputs, and set clear perimeters. But what we know is real life is more colorful than that. And the one thing that gives data context is real life experience. And that is a fact. Experiencing real life allows for you, the human, to hold multiple perspectives and to see contradictions, not as problems, but as what? Infinite possibilities. I want to use an example. I was talking about the accountability goal. The human part of it was, although it was a great platform, there was still things that could not be accounted for. Like if I wanted to implement a membership program, human experience is I wanted it to be a particular price because I had a vision for something that I had wanted to do. The human experience was, okay, everybody don't have a certain amount of money to give. AI can't account for that. That was real life, real perspective, real problems or challenges that created other opportunities. Because why is human experience? Human experience is having bills to pay. Human experience is supporting families. Think about the workplace culture and how it shifted with the introduction of remote work, during 2020 and the pandemic. No one could have predicted the changes that came when we're talking about work-life balance. But as an example of creativity as a result of that, you had workplace shifts such as hybrid work schedules, Even take a look at Iceland. I believe it was Iceland that introduced the 4-day work schedule as a result of what was learned through the remote work experience. So that's what I mean. Like, every unique experience that you have in real life is going to provide context and meaning to what you create. This is what makes your solution in the form of of your products and your services. This is going to be uniquely yours because it's built around your unique experience. That's why I say part of content creation is you can't really create good content if you are not out there experiencing life, real life. Because what are you learning from that? It's data. All of that is data. Every experience you have, every pop-up shop that you go out and you give yourself the opportunity to be confident, talk about your products, talk about your service. You're going to meet people. You're going to be having conversations. So when you go back to your tool, your AI tool, and you input in your prompts, you're going to be inputting data, what you've learned into that prompt. So that when you get your response, it's going to have a solution that is specifically designed around your personal experience, which is going to be totally different from the next door neighbor or the competition down the street. So this is what I'm saying. It's going to be your humanness. You can't replace it. Creativity was the second pillar of, or the second skill of what's going to be needed to be successful during this AI or this information age transferring into the interpretation age. Our next skill is cognitive flexibility, to adjust one's thoughts, strategies, and behaviors around any certain situation. So you got to be flexible to meet the demands of a workplace that is changing day by day. Being able to make decisions that are going to be essential for problem solving. Meaning, should we use AI to analyze large data sets? Yes, absolutely. Should we use AI to make final strategic decisions? No, we should not. That is where your intuition comes in. That is where your leadership and your ability to make decisions come in. Based on what? Creativity, human experience, based on emotional intelligence, and reading the room. So whether you're a business owner and your days are full of contradicting deadlines, and you need to be fast and you need to move fast, but you got to be thorough. You need to be confident in your expertise, but open to feedback. All of that stuff is called cognitive flexibility. Learning how to traverse between following processes and then showing initiative. All of this stuff is what is called cognitive flexibility. Cognitive flexibility allows for professionals or business owners to solve complex problems by considering multiple options, cope with setbacks, and find alternative solutions, learn from mistakes, and improve their performance, and adjust to changing rules, procedures, and environments. It's your ability to be flexible and to that quick decision making that is required in the workplace. or when something is not going right. Let's say you at a business event, and matter of fact, the one thing that comes to my mind is when I did an interview with Harold Levert. My interview is on my YouTube channel. It's called How to Balance Work, Music, and Pursuing Dreams as an Independent Artist with Harold Levert. Okay, so that's the episode. And it was so funny to me because he was talking about how he spent all this money, got the bubble machine or the steam machine or whatever it was. I think it was like a smoke machine, that they'll put out fog and smoke and stuff. He wanted that for his video. And he said that joint did not work. But he was like, they was there. They had already rented the space. Everything was in motion, but that joint didn't work. The machine didn't work. And he tried everything. But he was like that, but he still he had to adjust. He had to adjust quickly because time is money. That's what I'm talking about. That is cognitive flexibility. So you got to be able to solve problems like right there on the spot and make decisions right there on the spot. So that is what cognitive flexibility is. It is the third skill mentioned from the World Economic Forum's list of required skills for the future of the workplace. Let's talk about how to integrate these three skills to build your professional or your business or online brand. So you now have an idea of what emotional intelligence is, the importance of creativity and cognitive flexibility, because those are going to be your competitive advantages. And so now it's time to start talking about developing and being able to showcase those skills as part of your professional or business brand, using the language in your resumes if you're in the workforce, or if you are using like if you're applying for grants or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, or proposals, and you have to create a executive summary outlining your competitive edge that you have over all the other businesses that's applying for the same thing. You can start using this language because this is what people are going to be looking for. These are what the job market is going to need. So let's talk about how to pair your humanism and pair that with the AI tool. So that's your human and AI partnership model. We're going to go down a list of a couple of things. This is what your partnership with AI should look like. Let AI handle research and initial data analysis. Let AI handle first drafts and routine content, the repetitive work, the repetitive tasks. And that leads into your task automation and your scheduling. Pattern recognition in large data sets. Optimization of existing processes. So I'm doing this, how can I optimize? Okay. You as the human, what you should be doing is continuing to think strategically and making decisions, stepping into that leadership role. Relationship building and trust creation is a must. That is going to be essential. It always has been, but now more than ever. Creativity, innovation, and problem solving, again, is going to be essential. Ethical judgment and value-based decisions. Cultural sensitivity and emotional intelligence. And then the ability to navigate complex situations. So that's going to be how you can partner with your AI tool to stay relevant and remain in demand. of everything that I've been talking about, what is the pattern? The pattern is AI is going to handle your efficiency, but you handle the meaning. You, through your experience, through life, you're giving it meaning. Because of automation and the rise of technological advancements, these 3 human skills are what is going to get you promoted, referred out to other businesses, and remembered amongst your community. The future belongs to those who connect deeply, think creatively, and adapt quickly. So I want to give some light at the end of the tunnel for anyone, because it has been a lot of people who have been affected job wise due to automation. It's been said this section is for you. Here are some industries that are wide open based on those 3 skills that we talked about. Those 3 human qualities are imperative in some of these industries that I am going to mention. So here we go. Healthcare and human services, education, creative and design fields, creative design, whether that is computer design, web design. Right now you can use automation to create videos, cartoons. If you have a creative eye for any of those things, now is the time to get into those fields so that you can begin leveraging that AI tool to meet your creative vision. Okay, so management and human resources, and then marketing and sales, of course. So those are 5 industries right now that are wide open for that human touch. Okay, so that is the end of this video. Like I said, I was seeing a lot of video titles and then a lot of written work and written articles about AI and job loss and all of those things. And I personally feel, if you study nature, you know that with any problem, there's always going to be a natural solution to those problems. Us as humans, we are creative. Our brains is a computer in itself. It stores information whether we're cognizant of it or not. And so why not use our human abilities to meet the rise of this AI challenge? Thank you for tuning in to the Girl Get Up podcast, and I will see you next episode. Take care, everyone.